Door's locked, so I decided to drop down the chimney. What fun!
Nicholas.
The door's locked, why don't you just knock?
Because he's inventive.
I made the outfit myself, Mother. I wouldn't go telling people that.
Really, Frederick? Why can't you be more like your brother?
Do you have a sibling who does everything better than you? Do you know what it means to be in someone else's shadow? Join us in our latest Cinephile episode to find out, and be sure to visit our Fun Day website for more. Hello everyone, I'm Wade, your Cinephile host. Fred Claus is a 2007 American Christmas fantasy comedy film, starring Vince Vaughn and Paul Giamatti. Vince plays Fred Claus, Santa's bitter older brother, who's forced to move to the North Pole to help Santa and the elves prepare for Christmas in exchange for cash. As a child, Frederick Claus grew up in the shadow of his younger brother Nicholas. Due to Nick's selflessness and goodwill, he later becomes a saint, which gave him and his family immortality. Frederick's jealousy of Nick and his parents' preference for him hits a breaking point when Nick cuts down a tree, which Fred had climbed to tell his feelings to a bird named Chirp Chirp.
I don't wish to hate him. He means well, and I promise to be the best big brother in the world. You're the only one who understands me, Chirp Chirp.
Nick means well, but he ends up destroying the birdhouse and caused Chirp Chirp to fly away. From that day on, Fred became spiteful towards his younger brother. In present day, Fred has become a repossession agent in Chicago who despises Christmas, while Nick has become the modern-day Santa Claus. Fred lives alone and is friends with an orphan named Slam, who pops by his apartment from time to time. Looking to open up a casino and needs to raise $50,000, Fred comes up with a plan to impersonate a Salvation Army employee, but soon is questioned by other Santa-dressed Salvation Army employees.
I see your permit papers. You need a permit to work on this street.
Okay, I don't answer to you, buddy. I answer to the people. Mind your own business, please.
The Salvation Army is my business. Hey, what's going
You're crowded.
on? This guy's working without papers, and he's bashing the Salvation Army.
I'm not bashing the Salvation Army.
Hey, Jermaine.
Never bashed anything.
Hey,
No one bashing anybody. Don't make up lies.
Jermaine?
Show me your papers, clown.
Having no papers, Fred makes a run for it, while all the Santas began to chase him down the street and eventually gets him arrested. Fred calls Nick for bail, and taking advantage of Nick's generosity, he asks for seed money as well. Nick agrees under one condition, that Fred visits the North Pole and works for that money. Fred reluctantly agrees. Fred visits his girlfriend Wanda, who he's let down on multiple occasions before leaving. She's had it with him, and decides to break up.
Freddie, when we first met, I said, have you got a brother or a sister? And you said to me, no, Wanda, I don't.
Technically, I have a brother. I have the same mother and father, but I never felt like I had a brother.
No,
The courts would tell me
shush.
I would. No, listen to me.
I am through with this relationship.
I'm not.
Freddie, I can't take it anymore.
I'm not through with this.
I can't take it anymore.
I can take it still.
Freddie, you know, I think I'm going to go back to London, so good luck with your brother. If he even exists, good luck.
It'll
Freddie, I
rain all the
can't
time
take
in London. You won't be happy.
Head elf Willie escorts Fred to the North Pole and gives him a tour of the place. The next day, Nick gives Fred the task of assigning children as naughty or nice based on their behavior. Efficiency expert Mr. Northcutt arrives to analyze the North Pole's dwindling performance. Meanwhile, fed up with the workshop's DJ Donnie playing nothing but Here Comes Santa Claus, Fred enters Donnie's booth, stops the record, and tosses him into a cabinet and changes the song. Nick, his wife Annette, and Mr. Northcutt enter the workshop to find Fred and the elves partying and not working, for which Mr. Northcutt gives Nick the first strike. 2 more strikes and the Christmas operation will shut down. Nick forces Fred into having dinner that evening with their parents, and Northcutt invites himself to join. Phyllis's constant comparison caused Fred to leave.
Come on, Mom. Don't.
I just wish you were a little more like your brother, that's all.
Great. Okay. I just have a feeling I'd be much more comfortable back in my little Smurf hut with some Hot Pockets and a milkshake.
Come on, don't be like that, Fred.
Later that night, Northcutt shreds the children's letters. Fred is blamed for losing the letters, and the lack of backup copies leads to strike two. Not believing Fred's denial, Nick has security abduct Fred and bring him to an intervention attended by his parents, Anita, Wanda, and a psychologist. The entire family gets into an argument with Fred, and ultimately caused Wanda to leave, angered by Fred's self-centeredness. After a while, Fred storms off as well. The next day, Fred sees Slam on the top spot of the naughty list. He realizes that Slam's bad behavior is a consequence of bad advice he had given him. Knowing that Slam is actually a good kid, Fred then returns to his office and assigns every child as nice. Once Nick found out, he confronts Fred.
Fred! What the blazes have you done? You marked every naughty child as nice. Are you out of your mind?
None of the kids seem naughty to me, Nick.
Good grief, Fred. You really never see the ramifications of anything, do you?
The brothers get into a fight, with Nick end up injuring his back. Unable to now produce enough gifts for every good child, the North Pole falls far behind schedule, leading Northcutt to assign the third strike, shutting down the workshop. Fred leaves, taking his money and a gift from Nick. Back in Chicago, Fred attends a meeting with the siblings of other celebrities in an attempt to sort out his issues. Then, after returning to his apartment, opens his gift, a replica of a birdhouse Chirp Chirp lived in, and a note from Nick apologizing for cutting down the tree. Realizing his brother still cares about him, Fred uses the seed money to make his way back to the North Pole and attempts to relaunch Christmas. He starts by motivating the elves to make as many presents as possible.
Yeah, but all that matters is that each of the kids get a toy, that they all have something that they can open when they wake up in the morning. Most importantly, that they all know that there's somebody out there who's thinking about them. You guys have never missed a Christmas before. If you guys are going to go out this year, you're going to go out trying.
Because of his injury, Nick is unable to deliver gifts. So, Fred decides to deliver the presents in his place. Fred and Willie begin to deliver the gifts, but it is not long before Northcutt sabotages their efforts and fires the elves. Nick realized that Northcutt was bullied as a child, which caused him to become troubled. And that's why in 1968, he was put on the naughty list. But all he wanted was a Superman cape, which Nick finally gives him. In the meanwhile, Fred stops by the orphanage to visit Slam.
Slam, I want you to listen to me. You got some advice a while back, and I think it was a little off. The world is what you make it. It all starts with what you make of yourself. And I want you to believe in yourself, Slam, because you got a lot to believe in. And the rest will kind of fall into place. Okay?
Okay.
After every gift is delivered, Fred returns to the North Pole while Willie finally builds up the courage to show his feelings towards Charlene. Fred and Nick make amends. Santa hires Northcutt to work the North Pole. Slam is adopted. Fred reconciles with Wanda and takes her to Paris. The next Christmas, the Claus family is happily reunited, including Chirp Chirp, who now lives in the new birdhouse. We see that no family is perfect and every child deserves to be loved and feel loved, no matter if they are naughty or nice. 接下来 Ruby 要揭晓今天电影迷圣诞老兄 Fred Claus 要教我们些什么。Hey Ruby, you have an older sister, right?
Yes, smart and really good at taking tests.
Oh, then you must know what it feels like growing up in someone else's shadow.
在她影子里活着? No, I'm actually taller than her, so...
Not literally. I mean, 活在阴影下, because she performs better than you?
Oh, in the shadow of someone, I see. Hey, 那你知道 in the teeth of something 是什么意思吗？
Why? Is there something in my teeth?
No, I mean like in the teeth of opposition.
Oh, it means 违抗或不顾.
Yes. Okay, one more. What does in the twinkle of an eye mean?
That's easy. 在一眨眼的时间, meaning something happened very quickly.
Good job. Okay, what about...
Okay, you're using all these idioms to avoid the first question, aren't you?
Oh, sorry. Well, the answer is no, because 除了念书考试我都不比他差.
Ah, good for you. Well, we all have our own strengths. And I'm Wade.
I'm Ruby.
I hope you've learned something useful in this episode of Cinephile as I did. You can find more on the Fun Day website.
Let's make every day a fun day.
Wanda, hi.
Hi. You all right?
I'm doing terrific. I'm doing great. How have you been?
You know, I've been all right. Yeah, I've been working and...
That's awesome. Because work is really good for someone to do when they're doing stuff. I've been working a lot too, by the way. And also fighting for my life. But my brother's Santa Claus.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a little